Welcome. This is Emrys Hanley with bookofhealing.com. Today we're talking with Cindy Sharp. Cindy is an intuitive self-love therapist, and she has not only learned to live her own self-love life, but through spirit with a special connection to your soul, she teaches others to live a life they've only dreamed of. So welcome, Cindy. How are you?
Well, thank you. That all sounds so fun.
So tell me about the type of healing work you do. What is it that you do, and how does it work?
Well, that's such a great question. And I got to tell you, Emery, I get this question all the time. And here's why. It's unique. It's not what everybody else does, right? You know, an intuitive self-love therapist. What is that? And I'll just say that I have a unique history myself in my own story. And what I learned in life, not only through my own self, but through interacting with spirit and connecting to my own soul's power, is that everything is easier in this human experience when we love ourselves. And sometimes the loving yourself piece gets very confused for people. People are like, what do you mean? I need to love myself. And how do I do that? And they get very stuck and they get very, in their head about it. It must be something I need to do or something I need to fix or whatever the case may be. And so a self-love therapist is somebody that works with somebody on a soul level with the other person's spirit, and combined with my spirit, what we do is we get people to a place where they can finally feel the energy and the vibration of their own love, which is their soul, which is already love anyway, right? We just get a little blocked from it.
Yeah, that sounds like probably the most important thing imaginable. I mean, I can't think of anything
Absolutely.
else.
Got to start there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that whatever you're feeling in your heart is what you're going to get more of.
That's
Anyway,
very, very true. Very true. And so I call it the self-love life. That's the work that I do, is I teach people, inspire people, and help people through therapy workshops and other modalities to learn to live their own self-love life. Because, Emery, you may have a self-love life, and that looks a different way for you than it might look for me, because we're all individuals. Even though we're all connected, we're all individuals, and we all have different, we'll say, needs, wants, and desires of the soul that we need to adhere to live our own self-love life.
makes sense. Yeah, so why did you get into this work? How did this come about? Did you struggle with loving yourself? Did somebody come along and teach you how to do this? Did you download this? How did this, why do you do this?
It's really kind of a little bit of all of those three, but the most important piece, I think, is I walked into a non-self-love life, and I know what it's like to feel unloved. I know what it's like not only to feel unloved from the outside in, but more important, from the inside out. I was born with a very rare birth defect. At the age of 4, my parents dropped me off at a children's receiving home. Those two things together created a life of struggle and tragedy and poor decisions and poor relationships and all the things that go along with not choosing self-love. And I had to trip through those trips to get to my own self-love. And through my own connection with spirit, as well as learning myself through my own way to love myself, is really how I came to do this, because it's so needed in this world. There's so many people walking around, and I call it like this shell. They're in the shell of the beauty and the perfection and the love of who they are. And so I feel called to do it. There is no doubt that I feel called by spirit that this is what I'm supposed to do. And I feel like my story of struggle to triumph is part of why I'm being called to do this, because I know what it's like to be on the other side, and I understand from a heart and soul and love level what it's like to feel that disconnected. And so I'm just called to do this.
So what are the benefits of starting to love yourself? I mean, I obviously know there are benefits, but what happens when people start to come out of that shell? Like, how does their life change? What have you seen happen when people start to really love themselves?
That's a really interesting question because it is a little bit different for everybody, but this is what I will say. Once you've gone through one day of your life, one day where you know what it feels like to live a self-love life, your whole life from that moment completely changes. One, because you're not willing to live any more days where you don't feel that way and that you're not connected in that way. But two, and most important, is there's probably lots of things that people are procrastinating on, or that people have, our own spiritual gifts. People have different things that they're supposed to do while they're here on this earth, and they're not getting out and doing that because they're living the shelled life and not the self-love life.
That sounds absolutely amazing. So how do I get started, and how did it, if somebody's watching this right now, or just for me personally, or anybody who's watching, is there something that I could do right now after I get off of this interview, or right now after people get done watching this video, or even while they're watching it? Is there something that we could show people, or that you could tell me that I could do today that would start me on this path to loving myself?
Yes, there is. And so there's a few different things. And so this is the first thing that I would say is there has to be a commitment to wanting to live in love versus living in fear. And so at some point, whether it's in this moment, which I invite everybody that's listening, to make that commitment to yourself today. I'm going to live in love. Not just this all-encompassing woo-woo, what is that love thing? I'm not exactly sure how to touch it type of a thing, but I'm going to live in love with me. And I'm going to commit this moment on this day that I'm going to take the steps to do that. And then I'm going to have faith, because that's the second piece. Have faith that it's going to work out.
So I would just say that aloud, or write it down and sign my name to it?
You could say it aloud. You could close your eyes and do a few big, deep breaths around it. You could say it right before you go to sleep. You can write it down. This is the best part about the type of therapy that I do, is that there's not a one way for any person. Like, you may need something, you may need to write it down. I may need to just, really get clear with it right before I go to sleep. Some people may need to go out into nature and get their shoes off. The point is that we all kind of know ourselves a little bit, and we know what connects us to spirit. And so it's getting in that energy and doing that. And so when I work with people, what would be a good word for this? I'm going to use the word survey. I don't think that's the perfect word, but I kind of do a little bit of a survey of their energy and a little bit of their soul and how it is they think. And are they visual? Are they kinesthetic? Are they more of a person that, connects through thought? Do they connect through their heart? I do a little bit of looking at that piece, and then together we make up a plan for them to be able to not only commit to this, not only have faith in this, but to start walking the self-love life in every single thing they do.
Excellent. Well, so you have some free experiences and some really cool offers up on bookofhealing.com, and I was wondering if you could just talk about some of these, free experiences that people can come to and start to learn from you. I think you also have a show special for the expos you're going to be at.
Yeah, you know what? There's quite a few different things. I'm very excited on the 28th right here in Sacramento to be doing this amazing event. I'm excited to be invited by you and your father that have been doing this for so many years. I feel very blessed to be in the energy of this experience with you guys. And here's a few different things. So one, there's going to be a couple of talks that I'm going to do. And I'm really going to embrace people on a heart level to ask them to jump out and get to these talks. One's at 11:30, one's at 4 o'clock, 4 or 4:30. And one is living the self-love life. And I talk about how to do that and what kind of steps that you can take. And the other one is called Blocks to Blessings, because a lot of us believe that we have some huge blocks, this big veil in front of us, and we have to kind of dig through it to get to our blessing. And this is about letting go and knowing that you are the blessing. And I invite people to that. If you come to my booth, I'm going to have some fun things that you can do to win a free healing. And I'm going to just leave it at that it's going to be pretty different and unique. I don't think anybody else will be doing the same thing I'll be doing. So come on over just to see what that is. And then I have some show specials. I have an amazing package that I've put together that is a 6-week package that really takes people from the very core of the being of who they are and peels back all the layers to where they can get to the energy and the love of this self-love life. And that is $444. And it's a in-person, very intensive self-love program.
Awesome. Okay, so the event that you're talking about is the Sacramento Halloween Psychic Festival on October 28th.
Right.
And I'm hoping I can make it back from Colorado in time to be at your workshops, because I would really love to come and see you in person.
I'd love to wrap my arms around you and just give you a big hug and tell you hello.
That would be awesome. But if I can't make it back, and I just want to let people know, come to Sacramento. But if you're watching this video after the event, don't worry. You can connect with Cindy on bookahealing.com. You can see all of her latest offers. You can see more if she's doing more workshops. You can always connect with Cindy. So don't worry if for any reason you can't make the event. But it is going to be an awesome event, and the admission is free. And there should be a link near this video to that event if it's before the event, and if not, there should be a link to how you can connect with Cindy. So is there anything else you'd like to leave the people watching with today before we wrap this interview up?
Well, first off, I wanted to tell you thank you, and it's been a blessing to spend these moments with you. And the other thing is that you are loved and you are loved. You are loved and you are loved. And take that with you everywhere you go today. Not only you, Emery, thank you so much for this interview, but everybody that watches. Sending you with love, everybody.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Cindy, and thank you for talking with me today. And I'm gonna make the commitment. I'm gonna declare it.
Oh, I love it. Declare it out loud. Do it right now, kiddo.
Okay. Well. Okay. What do I say again? Uh-oh, we lost sound.
The commitment.
Oh, sorry, we lost sound for a second. Start over.
I'm going to make the commitment in this moment.
I am going to make the commitment in this moment.
That my life and my soul.
That my life and my soul.
Are valuable enough.
Are valuable enough.
To live the self-loved life.
To live the self-loved life. Awesome. I hope everybody said that along with us. And welcome to the self-loved life. Thank you, Cindy Sharp.
Thank you.
And be sure to let Cindy know if you liked this video. Contact her on bookahealing.com or Facebook or like the video. And we'll be seeing you all soon. Thank you so much.